Right, so I have returned once again to do the next episode of The Reflection. As we know, has I thought YouTube just changed again for me. I thought, wait, has YouTube always been like that? I have no idea now. Just kind of curious, like, is it always been that way? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So as we know, last episode, which was for me, I think Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. So last episode actually wasn't too bad. It wasn't the greatest thing in the goddamn universe. Don't get me wrong. It just has a lot of promise. I mean, it looks as if it was to actually do what I wanted to do, it could be a pretty freaking neat anime. But it's the question of whether or not it will. I mean, last week's episode of Wednesday for me kind of just really focused on a fight, and then the girl's introduction, and then the introduction of the superhero, and then basically a massive info dump. And that was kind of your load in the whole entire episode. I was kind of like, okay. I mean, all right, at least explained it. It's a major thing. At least it kind of went, okay, this is who the reflectors or reflected are. I think it's called reflected. These are who they are, what happened, or why they've got that power. So I was like, okay, well, at least you kind of said, okay, that's what it is. But I mean, it was kind of really bit info dumpy. It could have been handled a little bit better, which kind of is the major issue, is the way it's been handled, because it could have very be a good show if it were to be handled by maybe a better kind of director. I'm not too sure. I just don't know, because it kind of seems the events are a little bit skewered. Is a better way to describe it. It looks as if it needs to be in a different order in order to actually work a little bit better. I mean, in the current state, it's not like a 5 out of 10 on Mal. I mean, it's not that terrible. It's better than the Isekai show, so it's better than that. So there's that. And it's also better than the Hajime no Gal as well. Anything's better than that show anyway, so it's not really a competition there. But anyway, yeah. So let's get this show in a row. Let's actually watch episode 2. So in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin now. That's a really terrible. I can't even say the word. Depiction of the United Kingdom. There's never any sun in England. It's like it's always raining. You had to like put a rain cloud over the top of it and have it raining all the time for it to actually be an accurate description of England. Here we go. This must be what happened, because I remember them saying about the cloud. It must be the whole reflected thing. Well, you know what? At least explains it, which is actually like better than most shows nowadays. Even if it still looks like it's like kind of one of those comic books you don't read. Like, it's got really weird art style. It's got that comic book art style, but that kind of like indie kind of comic book art style you don't really associate with like Marvel or DC or something like that. It's more like an Image or an IDW. Hello. It's more like an IDW kind of show. Or you know what I mean? That one. Comic book. That's what I was looking for. There's that kind of weird ass art style. Well, there we are. That was the kind of the most show don't tell scene in the universe. Literally no words, just visual. Because they're incredibly, they actually kind of introduced the enemies as well. I was like, oh, okay, there's the enemies. We got that at least. Also, kind of realized something. Like Stan Lee's got something with Times Square, and also New York in general. Like Stan Lee likes New York. Well, I mean, she's not completely engulfed in flames. Like her feet are doing fine. I stand before you as Flame Girl. It's like, well, we believe her. Believe in her a bit more now. Kind of like, okay, all right, okay. I really like the opening. I think the opening's really freaking cool. It's like the kind of it's like not even one of those really kind of overly poppy songs. It's just very very Marvel kind of esque. It's like what you would it's what we associate with like the beginning of it's like how they introduce the MCU in every single film. Like they do that like massive sprawl of all the films. It's what it's kind of like. I guess Flame Girl was kind of that intimidating that everyone just kind of shut up afterwards. And was like, well, babe, I guess we listen to her now. Yeah, let's listen to her. Let's listen to her. When we get our Stan Lee cameo though? That's another thing to note. When's the Stan Lee cameo going to happen? It has to happen at one point. So I guess it was actually in the opening. I think I just found the cameo. I believe. I might be wrong. I think I just found the Stan Lee cameo. She said it. She said the name of the anime. We'll go home. Well, all right. Holy crap! Does that thingy from Spider-Man? Oh my god! There he is! Found him! There he is! That had to be the cameo. That had to be the cameo. Damn it! It's not Stanley's voice. It can't be Stanley's cameo. I was wrong. I was mistaken. I'm shook now. When you think about it, those flames must be really inconvenient sometimes as well. Hey, look, it's 80s soundtrack. It's 80s soundtrack. The superhero. He's back. It's like Mr. It's like a gooey version, of Mr. Freeze. It's like just Mr. Water. Mr. Freeze is Mr. Water. Oh Jesus Christ! All right. I'm pretty damn sure it's deja vu from the last episode. Pretty much. Well, everyone looks so dead inside. Oh Christ, he actually basically is Sid from Street Fighter 4. He pretty much is. Got knocked the F out. There we are, ends that fight. Only to instigate another. Only to instigate another fight. She's getting pretty freaking good photos for just standing there. Like, really freaking good photos. There's no blur on any of them. Like, the actual thing is pretty freaking good. Cannot argue with it. She's using some kind of 5D Mark II or something. Like, there's no way on that goddamn exposure can you get a shot like that. There's no freaking damn way. You got to be in at least. You have to use at least a sports setting to actually get that exposure. Oh damn. So basically, in these worlds, you either get bullied for having a superpower or not having a superpower. There's no fine line. Damn. The world of superheroes is actually terrible. I wonder if his anti-hero version is called X Off. Yeah, I live in the main road, so I like to have like police cars going down my road all the time. It's one of those things that everyone gets used to on my channel because it happens literally all the time. Maybe have one day when there's no police cars. It could be multiple sometimes in one stream. But how else are you going to get money from Joe Gemma Jameson? J. Gemma Jameson? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Never know these things. Oh Christ, he's got the thing from Ratchet and Clank. That one thing you always get in the games that takes you along the things. That is straight up hitching a ride, like to the fullest. That is hitching a goddamn ride. That's actually impressive. Like he does look like when Commissioner Gordon took over as Batman. I wish I was that cool. I wish I was that goddamn cool. He's got a bat cave. Wow, he's got a nice beard. It's got a goddamn nice beard. He's gonna make sure Tony Stark and Batman. Better go. Now, see, I can see that getting really freaking annoying after a while. The whole thing with the music, it's like getting to the point like you can't like, okay, we get it. You know what? At least it actually runs better than Batman Arkham Knight on PC. More frames. Like how he pushes her so hard that she actually ends up back in the area. Like really, really freaking well as well. Like no hard landing, no nothing. Just goes boom there. Most impressive thing I've seen a superhero do in a long time. Also, there's way too many people that have in a Batcave. Like at most, you probably have about 3. Best to have is about 1. Like legit person. One thing I've got to do after this episode ends, I'll go check Reddit whether or not I was actually right with the whole Stan Lee cameo. I feel like I was. He literally looks like when Batman took a break and the Commissioner Gordon took over. He has that beard. There's the rugged beard. Random caboose shot. Well, I never heard of it. But doesn't the royalties like go back to him though? Because if you make a cover of it, you have to technically pay the original creator. Well, he just grew arms out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. You know what? They could have picked a better name for him than other than Eye Guy. He looks just like Stanley, for God's sake. It's really irritating me. Well, you know what? You're not finding anything because your screen's not even turned on. It's completely blank. Also, practically the only person I know that actually would, in theory, down that much tomato juice. Enhance the goddamn image. Enhance the goddamn image. Still going. Still going. Still going. be honest, it was kind of it's an improvement. It's kind of the best way to describe it. It actually wasn't too bad, I would say. It was kind of one of those episodes that you needed after episode 1. I mean, I didn't hate episode 1, so that's kind of one of those things. But again, it's one of those episodes that I think was needed because it kind of just gets some explanation. Granted, yes, a lot of it was kind of episode 1 once again. You had that whole entire bit. You had Ian, but you actually heard what he was saying, which kind of might have been seen a little bit as like, oh, that's a bit cheap, isn't it? But it's kind of neat to see the scene again, but from his perspective, actually see what he was saying and everything like that. It kind of gives you a bit more. It gives you a bit more characterization when it comes to him, because otherwise you just know him as I guy, and that was it. But now you know the person beneath it, you know Ian, so it's kind of a nice bit of characterization in its own right. But yeah, I mean, it seems as if there is more going on here than we imagine. I mean, it's kind of like the narrative's going where I want it to go now, because the whole entire thing with the uprising of the actual reflected as well, like kind of saying, look, we are here. It's kind of, I thought it's kind of neat. I thought, yeah, we kind of need that, because I was saying that last episode that it was one of those narratives that need to be kind of explored. So it looks as if it's going that route. Oh, yeah, Stan Lee at the end gets me every single time. Right, I need to go and see. I need to go read Reddit and see whether or not it actually is Stan Lee. It's actually Stan Lee in that as that character. It looks just like him, and it really irritates me. I'm like, am I right in thinking he is Stan Lee? Am I wrong? Am I incorrect? Let's have the butchers. Where are we? 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 See, that was no ties I just finished. Really? I would have thought that series have ended ages ago, but apparently not. Oh, does this actually mean I actually have to search it? Don't give me this. Don't give me this. Fiction. It's not even there. Ah! I'm so disappointed. Let's see what the mouse score is. Does it tell me Stanley or not? Let's see whether or not it's still getting beat out by Pawn. Yep, it is. Still getting beat out by Pawn. Overall 8-1. I love that. I was like, overall 8. Overall 1. It's like, wow. The difference. Yeah, people actually are saying Stanley. I was like, come on, it has to be Stanley. You ain't telling me otherwise. But yeah, anyway. I mean, going back to what I was saying beforehand, yeah, I mean, episode 1 was kind of a bit more used in episode 2, which kind of felt a bit too cheap. But at the same time, I mean, it kind of, as I said, it kind of has a double-edged sword, because it kind of did add that commentary for Ian's character, because now it just adds that little bit, which kind of makes it a little bit more worthwhile. It's kind of like, it's that whole entire thing that you do generally see in these kind of things, like something that gets established outside. You're kind of like, okay, I want to know more about that. And then it gets established later on again. And it kind of, in some ways, feels cheap, but in the long run, it kind of does help the characters, and it's in the whole entire hindsight. But yeah, the most important thing is the narrative right now. The narrative is kind of what I want it to kind of go and do something, because it can't just be a series of just these characters, these other characters they fight. It can't be like that, because it'd just be boring. They have to do something interesting, and it looks as if they're going down and be finding out more about the reflected. How would you call them? I would call them reflectors. They're called reflected. So yeah, those characters, and the whole entire thing with X on as well, which actually does seem interesting as well. And also we've got the whole entire redhead as well, that very much seems as if she's an interesting character. She's kind of very freaking pinnacle towards narrative, because you don't really kind of gather who the main central character is in the whole entire series. You think it's actually probably I-Guy or Exxon, but it doesn't really seem that way. It's as if all of them are getting their own kind of screen time, which is kind of neat, because they all are in their own right interesting characters. Granted, yeah, I mean, Ian's that kind of character to associate a lot with superhero characters. I mean, Exxon kind of does that as well. I mean, I think the only other character is actually kind of interesting is the redhead. Like, she's the only one. So hopefully we actually do get to see more of her and what she does. Granted, I want to see how she goddamn takes those photos with an exposure of goddamn, like, that can't be 1 to 1,000. It really irritates me now because I'm like, there had to be a sports camera to actually be able to take that photo that crystal clear, because 9 out of 10 times if you take a photo of that exposure, goddamn, that would not work. You'd be blurred. You'd be like, no, you'd just be blurred. Like fix your aperture, girl. Fix your aperture. Or apparently you're really freaking gifted photographer because you just take photos like that instantly while they're goddamn fighting. It's like, oh, all right, good place at the right time, I guess. But yeah, I mean, all in all, not a goddamn waste of time. So if you did in theory drop the reflection after episode 1, you are a fool, because actually episode 2 was pretty freaking good. I mean, it had its problems, don't get me wrong. The animation still kind of hinders on being pretty freaking great. At the same time also not that good, because it has a double-edged sword, because the art style doesn't complement a lot of things, because you have the whole entire action scenes which don't really kind of mesh well with the animation, because it just seems a little bit kind of not fluid. I mean, it kind of seems a little bit too slowed down. It kind of seems as if there's a lot of like keyframes missing in between, which kind of just it irritates me slightly because you can see it, and it's kind of like But at the same time, I like it's a little bit more different than usual. And also, we had the whole entire characters from Japan as well, which do seem interesting as well. Though I don't know what they will serve towards the plot, but I hope they do something. And also, as well, what else is there? The OST is kind of the only lacking thing as well, because the OST kind of, you just have that one song playing whenever Ian does anything. It's kind of get to the point of, I've heard it enough. I heard it for 15 minutes straight last week, so please just stop it, because it's getting towards the point of my ears just bleeding because of how terrible the song is. But I don't know. I mean, I think we need to kind of keep going with this series. I think we need to know, because I think the bad guys do look as if they're going to do something kind of sort of cool. Like they're kind of filtering out, like they're kind of reflected out, and it's kind of like, okay, well, now we get to see what's going on here. So now we actually get to see whose sides of who and what kind of war this will create. Granted, I don't want to know how many episodes the series is going to be, because if it happens to be 12, then it's going to be freaking rushed, because you get the whole entire idea of establishing who these characters are, creating a sort of like kind of team of the Avengers, and then kind of them fighting each other. I mean, the Avengers took 4 films. So I don't know how to do it in 6 episodes. So I'm kind of fearing, but I do kind of think they might do it for a little bit longer. I mean, most shows do get the 2 core treatment, but I don't know. I could be wrong in this case. I just don't know how Dean's gonna do this whole entire thing. Granted, it doesn't seem that expensive to be 1 core long. It looks as if they're kind of like sparsing it out because they want to do it as 2 cores. So hopefully it's a 2 core series. So yeah, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. If you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here and you want to stay a bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. But until next time, I shall see you guys later.